Welcome to Checkpoint. That's right. I'm excited to be with you today. It's your host, Dr. Ifeoma Eze, and I'm here with something new at Checkpoint. Now, you know how we roll. We always start by saying thank you, and thank you again to all our viewers. Everyone who has joined us to make Checkpoint audience to become wider and to increase on every side. We want to say thank you, and thank you again. Now, because of all that you do, our message is reaching a wider audience, and for this, I am indeed very grateful. Now, today on Checkpoint, I'd like you to do something for me. Reach out to your friends, your relations, your associates, and your neighbors. Let them know it is time for Checkpoint, and I am here with something new for you today. You can't afford to miss out on this because it's going to be a huge blessing to you. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, invite your friends, your relations, your associates, your neighbors, even your enemies. Let them know it's time for Checkpoint, and they will be thoroughly blessed. So I'm waiting for you. Rush now. Begin to share the link, share, and I will be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Now, today on Checkpoint, I have a very interesting topic for you, and my topic today is decisions and destinations. Decisions and destinations. I've been around this world for a while, and I can boldly tell you that over time I have seen people make decisions that took them to certain destinations. Life does not happen to anyone automatically. You know, for everything you do, there is a particular destination it is prompting for you. It's just like what our young ones do today on AI and ChatGPT and stuff like that. You know, they give a prompt, and the prompt they give eventually gives them certain results. In the same way, there are actions, there are behaviors, there are attitudes, there are things that you are doing today that are prompting the future that you are going to see, that are prompting the destination that you are going to. So today, I'll be sharing with you on decisions and destinations. What I'll be sharing with you basically are 10 facts about decisions and destinations. With that, I'll be sharing with you things that will help you to make better decisions that will give you better destinations in life and in destiny. Are you ready for this? Alright, it's going to be a very swell time, and I promise you, you're going to get something from this video, something from this talk that will push your life forward in the right direction. Alright, let's dig in. Fact number 1 is every decision is a seed, and your destination is your harvest. Let me take that again. Every decision is a seed, and your destination is the harvest. You know what? Every action you make, everything you say, every thought that goes on in your mind, all of these things, including the decision that you made in life, they are seeds. And let me tell you something very interesting about seeds. When you plant a seed, that seed will eventually grow. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter the duration, you know. One thing is sure, that seed will grow. It is true that all seeds will not perform at the same level. All seeds will not perform at the same frequency, but the seeds will eventually grow. Now, let me give you another shocking revelation. When the harvest eventually comes, harvest will certainly be greater than the seed sown. So let's take, for example, you make a decision that was wrong. When the destination, that is the harvest, emerges, the destination will be far worse than the decision you made. It will be so terrible that you'll be saying things like, oh, I wish I did not say that. I wish I did not do that. I wish I did not even listen to this person. I wish I did not take that course of action. And you'll be saying all of this because the destination is obviously not good enough for you. It's something that is regrettable. And in the other way, let's flip it the other way. If you take a decision that is equally good, what happens is that your destination is so rewarding. The harvest will always be greater than the seed sown. Therefore, the destination will certainly be greater than the decision you made. So it might just be little decisions today made in the right angle, in the right way, in the right direction. Eventually, they will bring you to that destination that you have always desired. There are some decisions today that are so difficult, decisions today that are so hard to make. Maybe you're trying to read for an exam, you're trying to study for an exam. When every other person is relaxing and everybody's having fun, it's difficult for you to bend down and face your books and to keep reading when it's not convenient for you. But the destination that you desire, and because you know the destination you desire, you will put in every effort, make all the necessary sacrifice in order to ensure that you get the result that you desire. It is just how it works. It is a principle, it is a fact about decisions and destinations. What do you want? Let me ask you right now. Yes, you watching me right now, what do you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want to achieve? What is the future that you see? What is the harvest that you desire? Plant the seeds now. And let me tell you, some of you might be like, oh no, I do not really plant anything, so I don't understand why my destination is like this. Let me tell you, whether you do something or not, every time you are alive, you are planting seeds inadvertently. You didn't want to plant, but you are planting. You did not know you were planting, but you are planting. Whether you are intentional about it or not, you are planting seeds every waking day. Because the moment you make a decision or even indecision, every one of these things will eventually give you a certain kind of harvest. So I'm telling you, this is a fact. Your decision is the seed and your destination is the harvest. All right, let's roll on from there. Number two fact about decisions and destination is that you are always one decision away from a different life. This one is hitting me differently because I'm in a time in my life when I'm trying to make a fresh decision concerning something. And I want to tell you, the truth of the matter is this: you are just one decision away from having a different life. There is a life you have imagined. There is a life you have desired. There is a life you have always wanted to live, but you're just one decision away. And sometimes you might sit back and say, oh, this decision is so inconvenient, this decision is so painful, this decision is so difficult, everybody's not going in that direction, why should I be the one doing that? But listen to me, you are just one decision away from a different life, and that different life is usually a desired life. So let me ask you, what is the life that you desire? What is the rich version of you? What is the version of life that you find most admirable? Can I tell you that you are one decision away from it? Now, the process of making that one decision that will help you to live a different life is a different ball game entirely. Many people are not making the decision simply because they are afraid. Others are wondering, what will people say? And this issue of what will people say has kept a lot of people stuck. What are people saying now that you are hungry? Let me ask you, what are people saying now that you are suffering? What are people saying now that you are so poor that even the poor people call you poor? What are people saying now that nobody knows your name? So why is it that you are so concerned about taking one decision that will change your life, and then the only thing that is in front of you is what will people say? Let me tell you the truth. People will talk. Whether you do well or you don't do well, people will talk. Whether you are hardworking or not, people will talk. It doesn't matter what you do. There are people who have made up their minds that they will never like you, irrespective of what you do. So why on earth are you living your life on the basis of what people will think or what people will say? Who are those people? And in what way do they matter in your life? This is the question I want to ask you. You are simply one decision away from living a different life. And why are you allowing the voices of people who don't matter in your future to feature in your today? Why would you do that? Go ahead and do what is best for you. Go ahead and do what is in alignment with God's will concerning your life. It doesn't matter what they say. And all these fears, fear of the unknown. What if they don't accept me? What if they don't like me? Listen to me. You didn't come to this earth to be liked. And if you want to be liked, become ice cream or jollof rice. But you're not jollof rice there. Neither are you ice cream. So nobody's going to just like you for liking sake. Do what matters. Do what is in alignment with your will. The will of God concerning you. Do what is in alignment with your purpose here on earth, and that is truly what matters. So, remember, you are just one decision away from a different life. Picture that different life and ask yourself, what is it really that is preventing me from living this life that I really want to live? Number 3 fact that you need to know about decisions and destinations is that small daily decisions shape long-term outcomes. Let me say that again. Small daily decisions shape long-term outcomes. So, if you want a long-term outcome, you have to start making small daily decisions. There are decisions that are so tiny, so little, but they have long-lasting outcomes. An example is the decision to eat right. Denying yourself that junk, denying yourself that sweet delicacy because you just want to have a healthier life. Is it difficult? Of course it is, because your cravings have been taught to desire differently. But then, long term, it's going to pay you a lot. Long term, you're going to feel the better for it. The decision to exercise, the small daily decisions to read your book, the small daily decisions to save your money, the small daily decisions not to engage in gambling, the small daily decisions to learn better financial intelligence. These small daily decisions have a way of eventually shaping your long-term outcomes. This is why you should not joke with certain things in life. This is why you should not joke with the daily decisions you make every day. Hold your right ear. Every day you are making decisions, and even your indecision is also a decision. I'm telling you, you are making a decision every day, whether you are aware of it or not, whether you are intentional about it or not, whether it is a deliberate action or something you did nonchalantly. We are all making decisions. The moment you decided to do that thing you decided to do is taking you one step further away from your purpose or one step closer to your purpose. The question is this: what choice are you going to make today? Every time, whether you are sitting down, you're making a choice. You are standing up, you're making a decision. You are lying down, you're making a decision. You are eating, you're making a decision. We make nothing less than 1,000 decisions every day of our lives. The decision to go to the toilet, to wee or to poo, the decision to drink water or not drink water, the decision to exercise or not to exercise, the decision to lie down and sleep or to stay up and study, the decision to invest in that business or to be scared and bothered about what everybody's going to say. We make decisions every minute, every second. The question is this: are you shaping your long-term outcomes? What are you doing to shape your long-term outcomes? Because your small daily decisions are shaping your long-term outcomes. All right, let's talk about number 4. Number 4. It's funny, I have already mentioned that point in the midst of explaining what I'm saying. But number 4 point is that indecision is still a decision. Indecision is still a decision with consequences. So even when you are not making a decision, it is a decision with consequences. There is a consequence for the decision of choosing not to develop your life. That moment you chose not to develop your life, that moment you chose not to improve on yourself, that moment you chose not to do anything about your future, you have equally made a decision, and this decision has consequences. So don't say, oh, I'm not in the mood, I don't want to make any decision right now. Listen to me. Even by not making a decision, you are making a decision, and this decision you're making right now has consequences. So it's important that you know this, that it is a sure fact that your indecision is also a decision, and this time it is a decision with consequences. So my question for you today is this: what decisions are you making? What decisions are you refusing to make? These are valid questions. You know what you ought to do. You know what you ought to do to detangle yourself from that wrong friendship. You know what you ought to do to detangle yourself from those wrong friends. You know what you have to do to remove yourself from that difficult situation. But you are not willing to do it because you think it's difficult, because you think people are not going to approve of your decisions, because you think that's not the common thing to do. But listen to me, your indecision is also a decision. Let's talk about number 5 fact. So number 5 fact that you need to know about decisions and destinations is that your destiny is not determined by your conditions, but by your decisions. Your destiny is not determined by your condition or by your decision. Many times we say, oh, life happened to me. Oh, it wasn't my fault that this happened. But when life has happened to you, you still have a decision even in that condition. And you have heard the saying several times that when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. Now, not everybody is willing to make lemonade when life throws them lemons. So there is a decision there. In as much as this is your condition, you still have a decision to make. I always tell people that life is about 10% what actually happened to you, but 90% what you did about what happened to you. It's not your fault your parents left you. It's not your fault your parents abandoned you. It's not your fault that there is nobody to train you. It's not your fault that your parents died when you were very young. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that you grew up and found out that nobody in your family is succeeding. It's not your fault. But you see, in as much as this is your condition, you still have a decision to make. When people make it look like they have no other thing to do, like it wasn't their fault and nobody can blame them for their decisions, remember that your decisions have consequences. Your destiny, let me say this to you, you watching right now, your destiny is not determined by your condition. There are people who have experienced worse things than you have experienced. There are people who have gone through worse things than you have gone through. Yes, your father raped you, but you're not the only one whose father raped. Yes, your mother led you into prostitution, but you are not the only one whose mother led her into prostitution. Listen to me, I know it's difficult. I know it's tough. I may not even be able to understand what has happened to you, but listen to me, you have a decision to make. Are you going to toe the pathway they have set for you, or are you going to chart a new path for your life? Are you going to say, okay, this happened, but it stops here? Are you going to say, oh, it still hurts, but I'm going to take the decision to do the right thing. I'm going to take the decision to live right, to live better, to break away from this tragedy they have set for me in my life? What decisions are you making? Because your destiny is not determined by your condition. Your destiny is determined by your decision. So what decision are you making right now? In what way are you deciding that what has happened will not limit your destiny further? It's true. I'm not trying to be insensitive here. I know it's still hot. I know it's still painful. But you have to get up from that floor. Because when life throws you on the ground, do everything you can to keep your face up so that you can bounce back again. It's life. Yes, it happened. But that condition that does not determine your entire story. It does not determine your entire existence. You are bigger than your pain. You are bigger than your condition. You are bigger than the tragedy that happened to you. You are bigger than the difficulties you had to face. You are bigger than the conditions you found yourself in. You are bigger than the painful things people did to you. You are bigger than that. You have a whole destiny in front of you. If you need to heal, go ahead and heal. If you need time, take out time and heal yourself, but then move on. How would you want your pain to become the entire definition of your life? How would you want that betrayal to become the entire definition of your life? Yes, were you hurt? Of course. Was it painful? Yes, absolutely. But is this where your story ends? Never. Never. I'm saying that never on your behalf. This is not how your story ends. So your destiny is not determined by your conditions. Your destiny is determined by your decisions. Now let's talk about number 6. Number 6 fact about decisions and destinations is that God gives vision, but your decisions determine how and if it manifests. Let me take that again. God gives vision, but your decisions will determine how and if it manifests. What am I trying to say here? You need to understand that God has set a blueprint for you. He has maybe even unveiled it to you, revealed to you what He wants you to do. But you see, the how to execute that vision is not entirely up to God. God might give you some ideas on how to go about it, but you need to make certain decisions on how far you want this vision to go. You even need to make certain decisions on if you are willing to even execute the vision that God has given to you. This was why Apostle Paul said, "And I, Paul, I was not disobedient to the heavenly vision." He knew there was a vision from God. He knew that he even had the power to disobey this vision and make sure that it does not even come to pass. But he said, "I, Paul, I was not disobedient to the heavenly vision." You have the power to decide how far your vision goes. If your vision will succeed, or if it will die a natural death, if it will become a flash in the pan, you have a decision to make. And your decisions will reflect in the actions you take. The way you talk, the way you act, the things you do, the things you cut off from your life, and the things you accept into your life, it will reflect in all of this. This is why I'm telling you that God gives the vision, but you have a responsibility. You have the decision to determine how far this vision gets, and if this vision will make it to the destination that you have proposed in your heart. Let's talk about number 7. Number 7 fact about decisions and destinations is that wrong decisions can delay your destiny. Wrong decisions can delay but not destroy your divine destiny. Let me take that again. Wrong decisions can delay your destiny, but they will not destroy your divine destiny if corrected. Now, let's be frank about it. There are some wrong decisions that would entirely destroy your destiny. You have the vision of being a president, but you decided to start killing people, become a murderer. There is no way. There is no way at all where you become a president and then you're a murderer, caught in the act, sentenced and stuff like that. So there are wrong decisions that can actually destroy your destiny. But it's important for you to know that some certain wrong decisions can delay your destiny. And only if you are willing to correct those wrong decisions, That's the only time that your divine destiny can be realigned. So what I would advise is this: just like in real life, there are wounds that you have on your skin. Some leave scars, some go without a single scar. In the same way, there are decisions you make in this life. Some decisions, they leave you without a scar. They are wrong decisions, but they leave you without a scar. And there are some other wrong decisions that leave you with lots of scars. So you have to, and funny part is that there's no way we can choose which decision can leave scars and which one cannot leave scars. That's why we ought to be very careful, discreet, and very, very sensitive in all that we do. So it's important for you to know that wrong decisions, they have the ability to delay or destroy your destiny. So I think that's the best way to put it, that the wrong decisions have the ability to delay or destroy your destiny. So which means there are wrong decisions that can destroy your destiny, and there are wrong decisions that can only delay your destiny. And when they are corrected, you pick back speed, you get back on track, and you achieve your life like nothing ever happened. So the question you'll be asking yourself today is this: am I making the wrong decision that can destroy my destiny, or am I making the wrong decision that can delay my destiny? Whichever way it goes, the wrong decision is not healthy for you. It's not providing anything meaningful or useful to you, because you have to consistently ask yourself those questions. The wrong decision I'm making, is it destroying my destiny, or is it delaying my destiny? Both delay and destroy, the two D's, are not okay. We don't want them in our lives. We want to keep moving, making upward movement. The Bible says that the path of the just is like a shining light that shines brighter and brighter unto a perfect day. So my question is this: you don't want to be delayed, you don't want to be destroyed, you want to keep moving forward. So what do? You make the right decisions and leave the wrong decisions behind, because you have a life that you really desire to achieve. Is that okay? All right, so let's talk about number 8. Number 8 is this: following feelings over principles leads to destructive destinations. Following feelings over principles leads to destructive destinations. Let me take, for instance, feelings. Assuming I'm feeling hot, so hot, and then all of a sudden AC comes in, and then I begin to feel cool, so cool. Do you see something about feelings? They come and they go. They are so temporal, and any small thing in your life, any small variable in your life can displace them easily. Now when they are displaced, you don't feel it anymore. So you are feeling hot, and a variable called AC was just introduced, and now you're feeling cold. They are sometimes fickle. This is why you never live your life on the basis of feelings. You live your life on the basis of decisions, quality decisions, guided by principles. Because following your feelings will ultimately lead to destructions if you don't back it up with following your principles. What are your principles? What are your set of values? What do you even believe in? What is your conviction? What is that thing that you hold on to so strongly? What have you believed over the years? This is so key, because when you are able to have principles and be a principled man or be a principled woman, you will notice certain things in your life that there are boundaries, invisible boundaries that you create, that safeguard you, that put you in the right place, that put things in good perspective for you. So this is so key, and this is so important. This is something that everyone should hold on to. Make sure that you have principles. Don't follow your feelings. Don't even trust your feelings. Feelings come, feelings go. People will always say, oh, follow your heart. Follow your heart. Sometimes your heart is not right. So you have to make sure that your heart and your head are both in alignment, that there is agreement between the two. Don't say, oh, follow your heart, follow your heart, follow your heart. Sometimes your heart is feeling something it should not be feeling. How do you end up loving somebody that is hurting you? How do you end up being in a relationship with somebody who is not healthy for you? This person is beating you, abusing you verbally, emotionally, but somewhere in your heart you say, oh, I feel good when I'm around him. I feel good when I'm around her. Is this what you want? Is this how you want to live your life? Is this what you want to be remembered for? You know, these feelings, I don't want people to feel bad when they hear my story. I don't want people to feel, what is this feeling thing about? I know, let me be realistic. We are all human beings, right? We all feel things from time to time, and sometimes we get lost in our feelings that we do not do what is right. But that's why we have principles. Be a man of principle, be a woman of principle. Have some guiding beliefs that guide you, that tell you, that give you restrictions. Things that help you to become who you are meant to be. Things that help you not to cross boundaries or do the wrong thing or follow the crowd or do what every other person is doing. No, these are your principles. Hold on to them tightly and let them guide you. You can be who you want to be. You can have solid principles and not be dictated by your feelings. All right, so I hope you got this. Now, in case you joined us late, I like to beg you, go back to the beginning of the video and watch till this point, because a lot has been said and you may have missed out on some very tangible things, words of advice that can, or pieces of information that can move your life forward. All right, that's very, very key. So let's talk about number 9. Okay, so number 9 fact about decisions and destinations is that every major shift in life began with a decisive choice. Every major shift in life began with a decisive choice. Every time you notice that somebody was able to shift forward in life, it started with what? A decisive choice. Somebody made a choice for something to happen. Even God. How did human beings come to the earth? The Bible says that God sat back and he said, let us make man in our own image. Let us make man in our own likeness. Let him have dominion over the fishes of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the animals that roam on the earth. Let us, it was one decisive action that shifted the world forward and changed the world as we know it. See, in your life, there is one decisive action, one decisive choice that you have to make. You know what a decisive choice is. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's scary. And listen to me, if your decision does not even scare you, you should watch yourself. What kind of decisions are you making? What quality of decisions are you making? Sometimes I make decisions to do things and I know it is very inconvenient. I'm already stressed, I'm already pained, but I do it after all because I know that doing this will take me to a certain destination. That's just how it works. That is just how it works. So you have to put yourself in that situation and always remember that every major decision in life, every major destiny shift in life, it began with a decisive choice. There was somebody who made one decision and everything turned around. So what decision are you going to make? What shift do you want? And what decisive choice are you willing to make for it? Let me ask you this question again. Yes, you watching me right now. What is that one destiny shift you want to experience? And then, what is that decisive choice that you have to make? You need to make a choice in the area you want to go. You need to make a choice in the destination you want to see. You need to make a choice. There is a choice. And even not choosing is a choice. There is a decision to make, and not deciding. Indecision is also a decision. These are things that you need to understand. The moment you are doing something about it, it is a choice, it's a decision. The moment you are not doing something about it, it is equally a decision. The question is, are you willing to take whatever outcome emerges from it? What outcome will you expect when you are not being sensitive, when you're not being careful, when you're not being observant to know what to do? All right, so that is it for number 9, and I'll be sharing the last one for today, number 10. Number 10 facts about decisions and destinations. Your decision does not just affect you, they affect generations after you. This is a fact. Your decisions don't only affect you, they affect generations after you. I know of a young man. This young man has been having problems with getting married. And every time he's about to get engaged, he gets engaged to a lady, and then lady's parents or family decides to go ask questions. By the time they get to his village, they hear stuff like, oh, these ones have been sacrificed to a deity. They used to call it Osu in Igbo land, and then they call it is an outcast system where some people have been cast out by the society, and then the family, when they make such inquiries, they're like, no, we don't want our child or our unborn grandchildren to be part of this outcast community. And then when you sit back to ask the question, how did this outcast system start? You see that some people, many years ago, many centuries before, even millennials before, they ran into some kind of difficulty, and when they found themselves in a difficult situation, they couldn't solve it, they didn't know who else to help them solve it. Most of them ran to a deity and told this deity, please protect me from this evil, and in response, I'm going to make sure that all my children, my children's children, my unborn children, all of them will have to worship you for the rest of their life. And this is how people are making decisions that are not only affecting them, but affecting many generations after. Somebody will be like, oh, it's my life, I want to club, I want to party, and the rest of that. But when you're doing that, you're like, oh, it's my life. It's not the life of anybody. You feel good about it. But the truth of the matter is this: there are people who own you. There are families, there's a family that you belong to. And whether, like it or not, whatever happens to you will ultimately affect your family. They love you, they care about you, they don't want to see you fall into trouble. But sometimes, even the decision you are making, you think it affects only you. But no, it affects the people that love you. It affects the people that care about you. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, we heard about a young girl who just finished writing JAMB, and when the result came out, the result was not impressive, and she killed herself and died. I am sure that was not just how the story went. It's possible that she got the result and somebody said something negative, and a family member told them, I'm disappointed in you, I don't believe in you anymore, you are a waste, or something like that. Something must have triggered this girl to have decided to go and kill herself and die over just an examination result. Yes, somebody might argue, oh well, her mental state has not been healthy, but who caused it? It's important for us to know that the decisions we make not only affect us, it affects us, yes, quite all right, but it does not only affect us, it affects other people around us. It affects generations after us. There are people who love us, there are people who care about us, there are people who want to see us prosper, there are people who want to see good things happen to us, there are people who really genuinely care about us. And this is why we cannot afford to just keep making any kind of decision, because that decision affects. Do you know that in the Bible, Abraham met a priest, the king of Salem, called Melchizedek? He was both a king and a priest, and he offered to him tithes. And when he gave him tithes, the king of Salem, Melchizedek, blessed him. And after blessing him, do you know that eventually 4 generations later, a tribe called Levi emerged from his loins, and these tribes were now asked to become the priests of the entire Israel lineage? Why? Because their great grandfather went ahead of them and made one decision that affected them positively. So let me tell you, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, you are making a decision right now. You are doing something that is affecting you, affecting your unborn children, affecting your family in the future, affecting the people who genuinely care about you. And this is why you have to think properly. This is why you have to think before you act. Like they say, you look before you leap. You don't just leap and then begin to wonder, how did I even get there? No. You have to think before you act. You have to look before you leap, and make intentional, deliberate decisions to safeguard your generations unborn, safeguard the future of the people coming after you. Life can be beautiful if you make better decisions. Life can be sweet. Life can be everything you have desired for it to be, if only you are willing to make proper decisions. So today, I shared with you decisions and destinations. Every decision you make is taking you to a destination, whether you are aware of it or not, whether you are willing or not, whether you care about it or not. Every single decision is taking you to a destination. So wake up, rise up from your slumber, and begin to make better decisions, and begin to make better choices, and begin to tell yourself that this is not how your story ends. And this is all I wanted to share with you today on Checkpoint. I hope you were thoroughly blessed. I hope it was insightful. I hope it got you thinking. I hope it made you to decide to make better decisions. So until I come your way again, keep making a positive, indelible mark in the lives of people and on the sands of time. I love you so very much. Bye bye for now. Mwah. Hi everyone, I hope you were blessed by that message. All right, so I want you to just go ahead and support us. If you are led, go ahead and just sow into the account right on the screen. And I know that as you do that, God will bless you big time. Because of the seeds you are sowing, we'll be able to reach a wider audience on different platforms. So please do well to sow that seed, and God will bless you. Love you.